This is Umar for BoxNation in association with Global Next Trade.
And just enjoying a wee stay on that, like, you know, at least a wee pre-match nerve settlement, you know.
You have got a few extra pounds to play with now.
I'm only joking, by the way. I was sitting here when we started.
Oh, I'm glad you clarified
Wouldn't put it past us, though, eh?
Josh, look, back in Glasgow, one of the biggest sporting stars Scotland's ever produced is back. So it's actually a big night at the Hydro. It's a great arena as well. Ekow Essuman travels up, not a well-known name, a very good fighter.
Yeah.
I asked you on the stream as well, but for the purpose of this interview, why Ekow at your first fight at welterweight?
To be fair, that was the first option we got chucked at us when we went to go and speak to Frank and Francis. Obviously, we're talking about we're moving up to welterweight and what our plans is, and we also spoke about our plan: get a fight, get a good fight, and then hopefully get a title fight. You know. And we were like, right, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to get? I says, no, I want to get a good fight, a good test. And they chucked us Ekow, and I says, well, if that's the only game, let's go, let's take it. I never even asked about anybody else. She says, yes, let's go, let's take it. So it was really the only name that got put to me. I says, aye, take it, because obviously his accolades that he's got at the weight, you know, is the good title fights. As I say, British Commonwealth. And so yeah, he's got a European belt as well, which he hasn't put up for this fight, but there is another belt that's been put in, another European continental fight. So yeah, another title, another strap to pick up. Looking forward to it.
Josh, look, at your times in your career, you're not shy of a fight. You like aggression. Ekow's a very aggressive guy. Just picturing the fight in my mind.
I can box. You've seen me beautifully box. So. Yeah.
Just picturing in my mind, though, if this does start at a fast pace and it's aggressive early on, we have seen him drop before. To his credit, he always gets back up and fights on. But do you believe you can actually finish him off early?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. But I ain't going to go out looking for it. If it starts off quick, it's going to be an early night. You know, one of us is going to sleep because the two of us is all action kind of fighters. One of us is going to sleep, and if that's the kind of fight it is going to be, there, in my mind and the way I've envisioned it, it will be an early night, and it'll only be him that goes out on his back.
That's what I mean. Your strengths actually kind of play into each other, because when people do march forward towards you, you've got that beautiful slick shot that kind of comes from the side, but just you walk onto it, and that could play into his detriment. But look, as I said, he's a very tough man. If he gets back up from there, he's going to.
He's got great little nuances as well. And
he's going to try and drag you into deep waters, though, Josh.
He sets little traps and things like that. He can drag me into deep waters. I can hold my breath and I can swim very well. It's been proven how the fights I've been in, and in the deep waters that I've been in, I've held my breath. So he can do it all he wants. There's been nothing new to me.
Josh, looking at your last three fights, obviously, I know the competitor you are. You wouldn't have been happy about how they went.
Yeah.
Look, I do have to ask. It has been inactivity 3 years.
Yeah.
Just talk to me about that. And is that going to play a factor on Saturday night?
No, I don't think so. You know, the first fight with Teo was, well, the performance was okay. I mean, I got to the 10th round and I thought, right, that's 5 apiece. Try and get if I could get the 11th, I could maybe get a draw here. But my legs were gone after 4 after that fight. But that was due to the injury that I had, that plantar fascia tear. It was a fucking bad injury, that. I had to end up then letting go of my belts and stuff. I had that WBO left. They were like, right, we've got a mandatory for you, Teofimo. I was like, right, great fight. But this is my last belt that I've got left. I ain't want to let it go without a fight. So they says, right, okay. I said, I'm injured at the minute though. I can't fight just now. And they basically said, right, well, when are you going to be able to fight? So I had to phone the hospital, phone the doctors, and they sort of said, you might be sort of able to start back training in June. And I went, right, okay. So I went back with that information, and then they've came back with me for a fight date in June. And I was like, the only says that I'll be able to get back fully training, not ready to fucking fight. So that was the option that I got given, and I couldn't put it back any further, or it was release the belt and vacate all my belts without fighting for any of them. You know, especially if I was staying at the weight. So I felt I had to fight that fight, and it was a big fight as well. So with the limitations I had in that training camp, I couldn't do any leg work, I couldn't do any running, I couldn't do anything. It involved jumping or running about with my foot. I had to just do all upper body work, and I ended up able to do 4 sprint sessions on the curve machine. That was all the running I did and leg conditioning I did for that fight. The rest was all just boxing training, like literally boxing, bag work and pad work. I couldn't do like we call it the shit work, the graft work in the gym, jumping the bars and all that, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do my leg weights, my leg presses or anything like that, you know, squats. I couldn't do any of that, you know, so the only thing I could do was box. But with what I had to play with, I did get in great shape. I felt in great shape, or I wouldn't have boxed. I got in there on the night, and he was just simply better than me, and I was kind of shit after 4 rounds. Had a little resurgence in the 10th, won the 10th, and then lost the last 2 and lost my belt, unfortunately.
Well, look, I know I mentioned the inactivity there, but something that is going to have to be pivotal
Absolutely
here.
boiling. I'm just
You hot? No, I'm very surprised how hot Glasgow is, actually.
Beautiful, isn't it? Why are people always surprised when they come up the road and the sun shines out?
I don't know. When I left London, I thought I'd have to bring a coat up here or something, but no, it's
usually you
roasted.
Usually you do, to be fair. But no, it's lovely.
Should have done this outside. You could have picked up a tan, Josh.
I could pick up a tan, but then I'd get up a t-shirt tan, you know.
Josh, look, I mentioned the inactivity there, but we got to mention the weight. Not boiling down to 140 must be amazing.
Yeah. As I said in the press conference, feels like a holiday camp, you know. Obviously the training camp hasn't been, it's been grueling, but it's been hard work. It's been tough. I've been tired. I've been knackered all the way through, you know, through putting the hard work in. But there's been no limitations in terms of doing my S&C or able to do a little bit extra more on the weights and that kind of stuff. If anything, I've been able to do a little bit more, and I can afford to do that more now. So I can afford to fill into my natural size now. And yeah, it's going to be great. And a weight cut, what weight cut? You know, I'm really 3 pounds over right now. I'm going to go and have a good dinner tonight. And yeah, easy. I'll wake up on weight tomorrow, so perfect.
Good to hear. Josh, I've seen that he's been sparring Jack Cattrall for this fight. What do you make of that?
It's 2 completely different styles. Me and him, 2 completely different styles. You know, so make of it what anybody wants to make of it. You know, is what it is. But me and him are 2 completely different styles.
Just let that go. Give me a headache.
That up for you.
To be fair, he's just doing his job.
You're getting a bad name here.
He said that you're a stepping stone to world level, Ekow, today. I thought that was an interesting comment.
If anyone's got a stepping stone, he got you in for a big shock. You're in for a big shock if he thinks I'm a stepping stone.
You believe you
if
can
he thinks I'm a stepping stone, that's when he gets knocked out.
You'll be the first man to stop Ekow Essuman?
I can be, and if that's his mentality, I will be.
Well, listen, it's going to be an incredible night here in Glasgow. I've said the arena is one of the best actually in Europe. It's a really good arena, and it's great to have big-time boxing back in Scotland. There's a lot of good Scottish names on this card as well.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it as a fan as well, as a boxing fan. You know, it's I'm quite I've got to miss some of these fights. You know, my pal Aston's in a cracking fight. I'll be looking forward to. I want to watch that, but it might be a bit too close to my fight. I'm going to have to start getting ready, get warmed up. But it's a cracking card, some good fights, and obviously Lee and Nathaniel, my pal Lee, very good friend of mine. He's in a cracking all Scottish showdown as well. Who's going to go on to world honours in that division as well. So it's a smashing night of boxing.
Moses on the card as well.
Yeah, and Big Moses as well. You know, the hype around him. So it's a brilliant night of boxing. So I wish I could have stuck it on record, you know, but I'm going to have to do it, unfortunately.
Well, as I said, be a brilliant night at the Hydro, live worldwide on DAZN. Just before I let you go, Josh, look, this has obviously implications for Brian Norman, there's Boots out there as well, Conor Benn. One thing I do just want to get your thoughts on is I know you're a massive Manny Pacquiao fan.
Yeah.
He does return at welterweight and straight into a world title fight against Barrios.
Yeah.
What do you honestly think about that, Manny's return?
Well, I just think, who are we to say anything? You know, George Foreman come back at 40-odd-year-old, won a world title, didn't he? So, if he can do it back then and nothing was said, what's the difference now? You know, Manny Pacquiao's about the same age. So, yeah, he obviously feels he can do it, so who are we to say that he can't?
No, fair enough. But that's your opinion, yeah.
Yeah, and then he wouldn't be jumping in there if he didn't think he could do it. So, yeah, who are we to say?
Josh Taylor, thank you very much for your time on BoxNation. Best of luck this Saturday at the Hydro. Make sure you watch live on DAZN.
Nice one, mate. Cheers.